Hi, I'm reviewing something that was listed on Temu as handheld game console built-in games. Um, it's crap. It's crap. The buttons feel like crap. Um, it's crap. Like the buttons, like the D-pad, the directional pad for how you move in the game, something that you're always holding down all the time. Uh, this thing right here, these feel like buttons. They feel exactly the same as these buttons over here, and they're a pain on your hand. They don't feel good. You don't feel like you're really in control. It sucks, and because of that, all games that use these kind of buttons are you're just gonna stop playing them after like 60 seconds or a minute. You're gonna feel bored because you're not gonna get that good feel from it. So it's crap for that purpose. Of course, it does other crap. Let me turn it on. Uh, there's the load-in screen. I guess it's had different load-in screens because this one's the X7. Um, but it does other crap. I guess that's their solution, is to let it do other crap like video. If you, I guess they must have thought that, like, this thing, it has a good, decent video quality. It does have a decent video quality, and so that's something to it. You know, um, for it's got stereo sound, so, and it's got, you can plug. It comes with earbuds, so for watching videos, um, it's okay. But you're always going to be comparing with a smartphone. The stuff you can do on your smartphone is always going to be the basis of comparison. And you have to be a little technical to get these video files on this thing, you know? So let me stop this. Wouldn't you rather have a touch screen so you could rewind and, go to more easily, instead of, all I have the option of is going to the very beginning of the video again. So, oh God, let me get out of this crap. Might as well just reboot it. Um, but the controls feel like crap. The analog sticks, it has analog sticks. That's two of them. They feel like sticks attached to buttons with rubber bands all over them. That's the best way I can put it. They don't feel good either. They're not as bad as the D-pad, where you're tired, but they don't feel good in the game. You don't feel in control. It feels stiff. You know, they do return to their neutral position well, which they need to do, but almost too well. It feels stiff. There are other things in here, like it's got music and pictures and calculator and ebooks and calendar, but your competition is always going to be a smartphone. Just like, because you can get a free smartphone from the government if you live in the United States, right? If you're on food stamps or something like that, you can get a free smartphone. And then you've got Google Calendar, which is better. Then you've got, like apps like iHeartRadio or YouTube Music, which are better. Then you've got YouTube and all these other video options. And if you're technical, you've got even more options. So you've got a lot of options if you've got a smartphone. And you have to be a little bit technical to use this piece of shit. This thing, and I do use the words piece of shit um, for this device. I really mean it, is what I mean to say. Um, because, like I tried to connect this thing to my computer, and at first it doesn't even act like a device is plugged in. It's like just charging and nothing's going on. God, I hate how quickly it turns off the screen. I turned off the sleep mode in the settings, but it goes to sleep anyway for no reason. The screen idle is all the damn time, even though I turned it off in settings and saved. But it does it anyway. Um, you know, it's crap. The settings are unintuitive as well. You know, like you go into a game, and it's like the game is. It says reset game, and that's how you start the game. It'll say game guide is one of your options. Game guide is always blank. It doesn't have anything. Look at this. It has as one of its options Maple Story. And guess what Maple Story is? It's 1994's Island Adventure 2 or something like that on the Super Nintendo. Like, why? If you're gonna take copyrighted crap and mislabel it anyway, take something goddamn good. Actually know something about the video games that people played. Don't pick a game that didn't even sell well because you think the picture is like people won't know what it is. This device is there to fool grandmothers and but why? It doesn't even say Maple Story in the listing for the device when you buy it. So who's going to think like this fools you for what, a few seconds if you don't know what you're doing and you click it? Oh, and this thing doesn't have Wi-Fi, or at least as far as I can tell, it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Oh, and when I connected it to the computer, I figured out that you have to turn this switch on uh, so that it goes into like uh, sharing data mode or whatever, or power and data mode, so that it's you can put files onto it. And then it said you need to repair your device. When I did that and for this thing, and so I clicked repair device and it says, oh, there's no problem with your device, but it still didn't work. So I still couldn't I couldn't download files into this thing. So I'm stuck with the stock games and stock. That's all it has. Is a few games, like a few. Like maybe like 2 dozen, 3 dozen. I don't know. I guess it's got some NES games, but it doesn't matter because the control doesn't. I guess it has a bunch of NES games, but it doesn't matter because the controls feel crap. Um, you know how much I paid for this piece of shit? $32 fucking. And it's crap. I can't stand to play it for more than 60 seconds, because the controls feel like crap. I just reviewed also this device, which is awesome, the R36S, which was just listed as handheld game console or something like that. A similarly generic name on Temu. That was like $40 or something like that on Temu. I got it. It might be as high as 50. It might be as low as 30 on Temu. There's different sales. They're always trying to make you feel a sense of urgency, like you're getting it below 50. You're getting it at a deal because it's like 70 on Amazon, right? Um, it's always on sale to some degree. These type of devices because they've got a huge warehouse of them. This thing is awesome. This thing is great. The controls feel great. The analog sticks feel great. The D-pad and buttons feel great. The diagonals don't work that easy. It's hard to do certain moves that require diagonal directions, but it's still great. Just when going from the arcade Street Fighter with the joystick to a D-pad, it was already a little bit harder to do diagonals and do your Hadoukens, and so we got used to that, and that was okay. Um, but this thing is crap. This thing is like just get a cheap smartphone, you know. Um, I mean, you don't have to break the bank on smartphones if you don't want to. Just get as cheap a smartphone as you can. You can get a free smartphone from the government, or sign up with one of those. Put $0 down and walk away with a device kind of things. I mean, a smartphone is so much more useful. I mean, you've got a smartphone is basically a miniature computer these days. A Chromebook for like it would be good, but I know the reason why you're buying this is because of the price point, and I'm just gonna say even with the price point it doesn't matter. It'll look impressive in the box, and then it'll be a big disappointment, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to get this, which has a picture of a car for a game it'll never be able to play because this thing is weak technology. It can only do like maybe Super Nintendo games. You want this one, which is also generically named, but kicks so much butt. It can play games with graphics like that. This thing kicks butt. Uh, this thing is crap. And I got to show you the exact button layout because they all look pretty similar, these knockoff devices. And this thing feels so flimsy. It feels so lightweight. Um, it feels so cheap. I guess it would be okay as a video player, but then you might as well just get a smartphone and watch, you know, trailers and shit on YouTube, or some other video sharing service. I can't figure this thing out. I literally have a master's degree in not in anything technical, in counseling, but I have a master's degree, and I'm a member of Mensa currently. I don't have my Mensa card on me; I lost it, but I rejoined Mensa back in April because I wanted to. And there's no meetings in my area, but I'm a smart cookie is what I'm saying. And I can't figure out how to make any good use out of this piece of shit. So it's going back in the box. I won't even give it as a gift to anyone because I don't want to give frustration. And there's about 10 minutes of frustration before someone puts it back in the box and then stuffs it in their garage, if they've got a garage, or stuffs it worse. If you're a homeless person like me, stuffs it in your backpack being like, oh, I've got to find a use for it, I'm at a Burger King. They know me very well at this Burger King. I've been here a lot. I sit next to the power outlet that I can charge my devices at. In fact, I've got to start charging this laptop. But that's my review. It's I think it goes by many names. The one that I reviewed today, the X7, I think it is. Here's the game. Get ready for English. Broken English. And this is what the instructions look like. Why do you see a picture of the device 3 times over? Well, that's because there's the X7, there's the A3, there's the B3000. So it's got like a bunch of instructions to clone devices of clone devices of clone devices. And the naming convention, since they're all a matter of deception, of trying to trick you into thinking it's something from a more reputable manufacturer, the naming conventions don't make sense. You know what I mean? So and you've got the instructions for all 3 because they're so goddamn cheap, and they're put out by the same garbage peddlers. These people put some care into their device. The device I got in August of 2024 is better than 8 months ago when it came out. I had 15,000 games loaded up. I was looking at reviews, and other people were talking about 10,000 games loaded up or whatever. And I was like, I've got like 5,000 more games than that. And problems they were talking about sometimes in their reviews were already fixed on this version of it that I bought in August of 2024. The things that are still true are the Wi-Fi. I think I haven't messed with it, but I think the Wi-Fi is still hard to get on. The SD card is still cheap and prone to failure on this thing, so that you could lose save files and games can not load because they're saved on the cheap SD file, and diagonals on the D-pad are hard to hit. But this thing is really, really kick-ass for it's like the king of budget handhelds. It kicks so much butt. I'm gonna get another one of this because this was crap. This was crap. I don't even want to give it away. Maybe I will. I mean, I live at a homeless shelter. There's going to be somebody who's going to be talking about how bored they are. But no, I don't even want to do that because it's going to make them feel stupid because the menus are unintuitive. It's going to make them feel like they don't understand technology and they're going to throw up their hands. And I don't want to give anyone that experience, you know? Anyway, this review's gone on longer than I wanted to already. Long story short, on Temu, when you're buying generically named game consoles or handhelds, you're rolling the dice. You could be getting crap, you could be getting gold. I've gotten both. Um, you know, I'm reviewing this from the point of view of a homeless person. I have schizophrenia, and schizophrenia kicked my ass. I used to be a mental health professional, but then when I died, had my own mental health issues. It kicked my ass. I got divorced. I lost my job, and I couldn't hold down a job. If you got a job when you go into the psych ward, by the time you get out, you don't have that job anymore. And telling your boss, "Hey, I have schizophrenia. I'm nuts." You know, it doesn't help you get around those no call no shows that happened when you went into the psych ward. Uh, so yeah, uh, that's life. But anyway, I live at a homeless shelter now, so I put my car into storage because I was living in my car. So that saves me $100 a month in insurance, plus the gas from having to move my car every day because they don't let you just park somewhere and live there. You have to move it every day into some other free parking spot to sleep every night. So that saves me gas. So I've been saving a little bit more money, uh, kind of saving up to move out and get an apartment, but I really need a cheaper month-to-month rent for an apartment. But things like spending 30 or $40 on a handheld, I can do that, and I've been doing that, and it's great. Um, well, this thing is great. This thing is shit, and that's the dice you roll when you buy generically named consoles on Temu. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Till next time or next whenever. Take care.